Alright, so this is my third time recording this, and every time I start talking, I end up going down in a completely different fucking tangent than I want to go on. But anyways, what's up guys, Technical here. Um, I'm planning, I know I say this with every upload, I'm planning to be more consistent here. But I've been just going throughout my day to day life, doing my thing. Well, I've been paying attention to this uh, upcoming American election, and man, it is so clear to me now how fucking corrupted this shit is. Like, I already did a video on them walking Joe out, and I I can go on and on about how weird it is that this random kid ends up going to Washington a couple times, goes to the Trump rally, gets on the only roof that makes sense for attempted an attempting shooter to go on to take a shot at the president. Was then spotted a good half hour before he started taking shots. But I already did my video on that one. What happened recently now with how laughable Kamala Harris and her pick, what is it, Tim Walsh, which I definitely did not. Tim Walsh. Yeah, Tim Walsh. Who he was not on my pick of VPs, but I guess he makes sense. Um, I really think the Democrats are screwed, though. I think Kamala Harris is one of the most unlikable politicians I've in a lifetime. Like, you saw in 2016 with Tulsi Gabbard. You saw in 2020 with basically any other politician on that stage. Kamala Harris is just a terrible politician. She is a terrible speaker. Every single one of her speeches makes no sense. And when you have Joe Biden being the president, and the fact that none of her speeches, and I mean none of them, outside of 20 minutes in the first debate, make any kind of fucking sense. Nothing. You're following up a guy who was senile for at least a good 2 to 3 years. You can argue he was senile even while he was running. But no, Joe Biden ran the United States for at least a good 2 to 3 years, being in complete brain deterioration mode. It makes no sense to me. And then to follow that up, you have Kamala. And I think the only reason they picked Kamala was one, black woman. You get the diversity vote there. And two, I feel like they knew this was the only way they can come. They would be able to get Kamala up to the presidency. But like, oh my god, dude! Like I've never seen a more dislikable U.S. presidency I've ever seen. Like I'm weird. I look into history, right? And just like growing up, I've seen Obama, I've seen Trump, I've seen Stephen Harper, I've seen Justin Trudeau. Like, I've never seen a country run for 4 years and be clearly ran by two people who are both completely incompetent. And, well, like, it's so weird to me that, like, we all, like, I guess I'm Canadian, so it doesn't really affect me. But America literally went on for years having a senile old man run the country, allegedly, and they didn't panic at all. Like, you should have pulled out Biden years ago. Bernie Sanders should have won the primary, actually, if you're really talking here about what should have happened. But no, the big corporations sent Joe Biden the massive super PACs, and he shot up the polls, and then everybody dropped out outside of Bernie, of course, who, if all those weird things that happened when they would have won that Democratic primary. But like it wasn't until you put Joe Biden out there on the stage and Trump, who had a horrible debate himself. Well, I'm not even gonna fucking sit here and take any kind of opinion that either of them won that political debate. I thought that was fucking terrible. I thought at the beginning of that debate that happened a month or two ago, I thought Joe Biden started off so strong. I thought he was very clear and concise. I thought Trump was playing into his character too much and was fumbling on his own policies. But then it was like in the middle of the debate, like the super serum wore off on Biden. It was like he went from like this clear, concise guy to like barely staying up. Like he was mumbling his words. He he would start he would start his speech and then go to a completely different one. And like I think the coldest line in any political debate was said by Donald Trump when he was like, after Biden stopped speaking, he was like, I'm not sure what he said, and I'm not even sure if he knows what you said. And then he makes his point. At that point, Joe Biden, his run was done. And it just, it's a shock to me what it is at the same time that people are unaware, that people didn't realize Joe Biden was that bad. And then you have all the trials and that. I feel like this time around, people are a lot more aware to like how corrupt and how shady the the politics, the media, everything is today. And it wasn't that long ago when you could just go about your day knowing that like you're living a happy life. No, no wars are being schemed on. You're not having people amped up about meaningless shit. But no, like Donald Trump running for presidency just changed all of that. Whether you want to blame him, which I think he holds some of the blame, don't get me wrong. But the way the media has amped up the left and and the far right, It, it's fucking despicable. But with RFK now, so I'm not sure how much people know about RFK. I thought RFK was a brilliant candidate. I thought RFK was the best independent candidate I've ever seen in my lifetime. I thought he spoke better than Trump and Biden ever could. Like the town hall he did during Trump and Biden's debate, he was he like he's so clear and concise. He hits on all the big issues in society now. He hits on the health of America. He hits on the corruption of these pharmaceutical companies, and the fact that he has ended his campaign and endorsed Trump. Like I felt like that was eye opening to me. That like you're having like an old school Democrat come out and say all these things about the Democratic Party, and like with RFK too. If you read and any of what happened to his family, the deep state killed RFK's family. Like there's no way to describe that. Like you want to talk about JFK, there were multiple shooters. Like the bullet trajectory that had to have happened to explain the injuries that JFK took were like they call it the magic bullet. It would have hit him if I remember correctly, like in the head, through his torso, and then out the back, and then it hits another person. Like again, if you don't know anything about the JFK theories and all that, like there were multiple shooters to JFK. They definitely hunted him down because of him not wanting to go to war with Cuba. But RFK ran his platform on the corruption in the Democratic Party and the health of America, and he talked about the media. He had every point that typical people are picking up. If if you are brainwashed by the culture war, you're picking up on all of these things. How the media, like, there's multiple edits, and Joe Rogan was talking about this, where you can find clips of news organizations saying word for word the same exact thing about the same topics. And it's so scripted and it's that cliche. We're gonna, this is a lie, this is conspiracy, um, and it needs to be shot down. But they will all say the exact same script with anything. And with me, the way they made RFK sound to be extreme, it's so fucking weird to me. Because like you want to go after him on the vaccine thing, right? Um, he's not necessarily anti-vax. He just has concerns about the production of them, uh, the the fact that there are cases where people can't get it. There are side effects, um, and for man-made virus. That's something too. But he calls out all that stuff, and having him step down and endorse Trump, like that to me shows like we're not in like normal political territory right now. Like it is really a matter of like the deep state using the extremists to push these bullshit social narratives, these stupid bills. Like one of them being like, well, we're gonna give $6,000 to people for no reason. Yeah, people can't afford to buy anything. You know why? You printed more money than at any other point in history over the span of 2 years, and now you have no real way of uh, burning that money. Uh, like the cost to live anywhere now, Canada, America, whatever it be. If you're not living in a little town, like a small town, rent you're paying 1,000 if you're lucky. 2,000, like if you live in a big city, you're paying 2,000, and it's gonna be like a little bachelor coffin apartment. Like the it's it's so weird to me that politics isn't something you should base your personality on. It's not something you should obsess about constantly. But like you you can't look around now and say that this is a good way to go. Like you can't look at the fear mongering on any political candidate, any celebrity that goes against the narrative, whether it's Trump, whether it's Polio, whether it's um, what's the guy's name? Tim Allen, Bill Maher, Jimmy Dore, Joe Rogan, any celebrity, any politician, anybody who has a substantial hold on like mainstream attention, if you go against the narrative that you're giving out there, like it's like you're tracked down, you're fucking bombarded. It's so weird to me. It's either you're bombarded or you're shut out entirely. Like I brought up Tim Allen. Tim Allen. I've always loved Tim Allen. Um, his movies and that. I grew up in the 2000s. Come on, Bruce Lightyear, dude. You know, sick. But like when Tim Allen and his thing, when he came out and he was talking about Hollywood, he was talking about you know the culture that's being thrown around, has been thrown around LA. That like they fucking wanted Tim Allen out completely. You didn't see him getting any movie roles in that. And like, you look at it now, Snoop Dogg is behind Trump, 50 Cent is behind Trump. You have so many celebrities and like, I really think, obviously, because I'm big into MMA, right? Dana White was the first big, somewhat celebrity that had a bit of corporate power within entertainment to publicly endorse Trump. And if you know anything about Trump and Dana White, Trump helped the UFC way before, like when Dana was getting it running. And if you don't know, Trump has a strong connection to the MMA community. He had his own MMA organization called Affliction. They had a couple good fights. Obviously, Tankville. I think it was Trump, Mark Cuban, and somebody else. They had Fedor there. But Trump had UFC events at his properties. He goes to a ton of events. He watches it. I mean, if you look at when they bring out Donald Trump to any of these UFC crowds, you get nothing but people cheering. Like, he is loved by the MMA community, right? And that's because of the impact Trump has had on it. And, you know, whether you like the guy or not, whether you care about politics or not, you definitely need to look at the fact that they've been hunting this guy for years. They've been throwing so much legal bullshit at this guy for years. And none of it sticks. Yeah, they charged him with the felonies. Yeah, the ones they rolled up during the trial. Like you're gonna instead of arguing policy, this is the thing with Trump. Instead of arguing about his policy, about his actions, it is they immediately jump to extremist points that he himself doesn't have. Like the Roe v. Wade thing. This is the Roe v. Wade abortion topic is my fucking least favorite debate of any fucking political debate ever. Because my thing is that I think abortion has a purpose. And however, I don't think it should be your main fucking birth control method. I think it should be looked at as when the mother is in medical uncertainty, and I, every single reason an abortion would happen, it's, oh yeah, every one of them on their own is a different topic. That's why I hate the abortion debate. I think it really shouldn't be in politics. If I was a politician, it would something I wouldn't touch. Trump said he's not going to touch that shit, which is smart. Um, like they try to throw in some the dumbest shit on. Okay, you want to talk about outside the Stormy Daniels, the Stormy Daniels one, which that okay, he paid off a porn star for an affair. Okay, like is it is it something to brag about? No. Is that like a death blow to somebody's image? Fuck no. Like there, there was there was nothing wrong with what he did. All of it was legal. Him paying off that lady, whatever, and it was only brought up, a couple months before the election, and then the whole one in New York again. I think any trial Trump has had in New York has been completely fucking pointless, and it just shows you how stupid the fucking American system is. Like they went after him for millions of dollars uh, on stupid business regulations. And when you tax the shit out of somebody, off a simple fact, well, it's not even taxes. He paid his taxes. It was just, a financial loophole. It was completely legitimate to do. He got wrapped up in, and they ended up making him pay millions on top of the Stormy Daniels thing. Like, every single thing that has been thrown at Trump, whether it be Russiagate, whether it be the whole January 6th thing, which, by the way, maybe if you didn't have every single Democratic city under fire for weeks at a time, people would have cared about January 6th more. But, like, the what really happened there? People walked around the Capitol. Like, you had some people die. That's a shame. But I mean, you had months of riots. Yeah, you had, you know, the BLM thing. How much that too? BLM on its own. I fucking hate it. I hate the movement. I hate the organization. I agree with the message, but it is literally all about getting people to vote for people who are not going to solve that problem. That's that's why that whole fucking left wing BLM organization, Antifa, all this bullshit. It makes no fucking sense to me. Um, well, like, you see less of it in this election now, but I don't know. I just, I think that the sides now to everything are just so beyond what they should be. I think politics needs to fucking become less about the extremists and more about the moderates talking. And, you know, maybe we need to talk more about the fact that a couple of days after Trump is nearly killed, which I don't care if you like Trump or not. Anybody having their life being um, put at risk on that level, like, I feel like any bit of criticism you have towards the guy, as long as you're not psychotic, you gotta at least feel for the guy for being shot. Like, it was a miracle that he moved the way he did. But, I just, like, the way I look at it is Trump isn't the best pick, right? But Trump is the pick that has exposed the whole corruption in the deep state. He is the pick that brought out somebody like RFK. He is the pick that made the media become so divisive. And, like, now that now that we have the American presidency come down to somebody who was unanimously picked by Republican voters. Everybody knew there was no debate. Trump was going to win the Republican primary against Kamala Harris, who was just put in. She wasn't elected. She was appointed by Joe Biden to be vice president. She is one of the most least likable politicians ever. And, you know, the media, the media made it so that RFK wasn't a legitimate thing. They made it so RFK didn't get any of the media time he deserved. They make it so Trump doesn't get any of the media time that he deserves. They will feed every news publication the same story to spin, and they will spin it the same way. And, and at the end of the day, it's all about having people in the White House that will align with the deep state. But I don't know. This is an half hour rant. Um, if you agreed with anything I said, or you also think that what's going on in your states is weird, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Yeah, later.